everybody, my name is Chris, and today we're looking at Pharah. Pharah is a character I've played maybe 5 times. I don't really get her, I don't like her all that much. She's a pain in the ass to fight, especially she has a mercy on her ass. Fucking doing a pharmacy is like trying to kill mosquitoes, it's impossible. I will say that her ult is pretty easy to fucking dodge, especially as I'm a diva, especially since I'm a diva main and I can just kind of eat the ult. It's kind of nice. But let's look at her skins. I will say that her overall design is pretty solid. It's just a mecha. She's just a Gundam pilot, basically. Like, kind of what Diva is, but she's like a Power Ranger that fused with the mecha. I think that works for her. I don't know. It's alright. It's blue. It's very winged. She looks like a bird for some fucking reason. It's fine. I just don't know what to say about it. It's all like these are going to be kind of short because they're all the same concept, except for like 2 of them, I think. Her worst one is copper, and the reason copper is the worst is because, well, it's copper. She just let the suit rust. It's kind of just boring. Not so much a color; it's more just being lazy. Titanium is what I think of when I think of the first Iron Man movie. Because it reminds me that, you know, before she actually added color, it was just silver. And that's the same, like, just, I think of Iron Man 1 when he starts making the suit and shit. That or, whatever the fuck Pepper's Iron Man counterpart suit's name is. I forget what the girl version is. Next up is Amethyst, and the reason Amethyst is second best is because it kind of plays with the blue, but it's a deeper shade that goes with her skin tone better. Plus, purple just kind of works in this game. It's a very nice, solid purple. It's not too light, it's not too dark. Her best one is Amethyst, and again, it's a green skin, but it also kind of just works for her. It's a light enough shade that it complements her skin tone, but it's not too light that it fucks with her hair color. It works. That's my whole point. Like this, she looks like Buzz Lightyear a little bit. Speaking of which, I'm waiting for the Pixar X Overwatch crossover because Pharah is definitely getting a Buzz Lightyear skin when that happens. I will fucking die if that happens. Like, that will just make my day. Her worst skin is Asp. ASP, I don't know what that... I'm just going to call it Asp. And something that you'll notice with me is that the common thread of the worst skins are usually the ones that are pretty over-designed. And the back really isn't, but when you get to the front, you just... Look at all this shit. Look at everything they put on her. You know, there's so... Like, the extra little things on the hip. The extra bits of stuff for the wings. The jackals. The guys on her shoulder. The lion on her chest. The cobra on her chest. The extra embellishment on the helmet. There's just so much going on here that it just kind of detracts. And that's my biggest critique. Next up is Thunderbird. And what makes Thunderbird so bad is that it's mainly just white and red. Not a lot to go with on this one. And a lighter color does work with her skin tone, but it's just... It feels too similar to a skin I'm going to talk to later down the line, but frankly, it's just ugly. The birds are not well designed at all. It looks too... just cheap. I don't know how else to put that. It just looks cheap. Rain Dancer is much of the same, but the problem is... But it's a lot better because the blue and the brown work a lot better together and on her. Still not a great skin, but better than Thunderbird. Next up is Bedoun? Bedouin, Bedoun, I think that's how you say it. And it's blue, like her main, which is nice, but it's kind of the same problem I had with the Genji skins like this. It's a bit too specific to a certain map, a map that I hate, but, you know, it's... I don't know, it just doesn't look that great. It's just okay. I will say the little points on the shoes are kind of cute. It reminds me of, like, you know, Aladdin and, oddly enough, Tinkerbell, because those little poofs. But, hey, what are you going to do? Next up is Orbital, and I'm not gonna lie, this is where these start to get pretty good. Like, the rest of these are pretty solid. But where Orbital kind of falls in the middle is the fact that it's a bit bulky, which I guess is the point. It's an astronaut's suit, but her mecha is already kind of bulky as it is. I don't understand why they made it even bulkier in the chest. Like, what is that for? I don't get that. It's a good palette, and I like the joints and all that, and I like the helmet, but really it's just the extra bulk that makes it a little too awkward. I do like the fact that the helmet is actually an astronaut's helmet. That's a nice touch. Next up is Jackal, and its next one, which I'll get to in a minute, are pretty solid. I think that Jackal could have been a gray or something. Like, the bottom of this outfit's really cool because it looks, well, it's gray. This just looks like a white wolf, which I know the Jackals weren't expressly, just black or gray, but I don't know. This one just seems like it could be more, like, better titled, like, White Wolf or something like that. Anubis is fucking awesome. Like, just look at this thing. It's black, it's gold, it's just, it's awesome. It's completely fucking awesome. Like, holy shit. It's still just a generic skin with different accents on it, but hey, it works. Up next is Security Chief, and the reason Security Chief is above Jackal, even Anubis, even though it's not as awesome, is because it just has a little bit of character to it. It seems like a prototype almost. It's got, little pouches here and there. It's got a little bit of dirt and grime. It's got exposed hinges. It seems very new, and I like stuff like that. It's very cute. This is good world building more so than, like, Diva and Bridget being police officers. Where did that come from? This is just a little bit more detail on how she got the mecha to work the way she wanted, which is good. Next up is Mecha Queen, and the reason this one falls in the middle-ish is, even though it looks like a really badass transformer, it's a bit too hectic. The blue, the orange, and the white kind of clash. The mask is fucking awesome, but my main deal is her eyes. They're sunken in a little bit more, like they're shaded differently in this skin, and her eyes have the yellow that the mask does, which makes them really stand out in a bad way. Like, it's not like a positive thing when you're like, ooh, I can see your eyes. It's more like, ooh, what the hell happened to your eye? Next up is Possessed, and Possessed is just cool. It's a generic Pharah skin, yes, but it's also purple, which is one of her better colors. But it's also pink, and it's got these ethereal things going on with it. It's cracked. She's a zombie. It's appropriately cool. It's a really good Halloween skin. Just all around nice. I just think that's kind of awesome. Next up is Carbon Fiber, and Carbon Fiber has the same thing Anubis had for it, which is that it's a lot of black, which works with her skin tone, but it's a lot sleeker. It doesn't look as gaudy because the gold on Anubis made it a little too chic. This one makes it more robotic, and for a person in a weaponized suit, that makes fucking sense. I think this is called Quinlong? I'm not sure. Quing? Q-I-N-G long. Quinlong? Quinlong? I don't know. It's the lunar event. Now, you may be surprised. Everyone else besides me has really terrible lunar skins. And this one doesn't. This one's just awesome. It's a dragon. I don't know what to tell you. It's just a dragon. The emblem in the middle is really nice. The blue works for her. Her fucking shoulders have dragon claws on them. Her wings have scales. Her wings look different in general. Just, it's a nice skin. Like, actually did really fucking well with this one, I'm not gonna lie. Next up is Frostbite, and what makes Frostbite third best is that they fucking changed the texture. Everything is made of ice. They added crystals to her. They added glitter. They added steam coming off her, like the ice is melting. They I mean, look at this thing. It's fucking cool. They even made her skin a different shade, where they just made her look like Widowmaker. Like, this is just a cool skin. Like, you can't deny this is some pretty badass shit. Our runner-up is Raptorin. I think that's how you say it. These names are fucking weird. Anyway, this one is a much better version of Mecha Queen because it's a lot more coherent. The lighter blue is now the main color, the white is just an accent, and the darker blue is basically in the same place it was before. But it looks a lot nicer. Like, this one doesn't hurt my eyes to look at. And speaking of eyes, her eyes aren't that same piss yellow that made it hard to see. You can actually kind of tell what her eye color is supposed to be now. And it doesn't look as terrible. Like, if you look at her eyes right now, they're a lot more brown, which is her natural eye color. Why they chose to change it in the other one, I have no idea. But they fixed it. At least this one looks nice. Not gonna lie, it's just a good reskin of Mecha Queen, and that's why it's so good. But it did get beat out by one skin, and that is Enchanted Armor. Why is Enchanted Armor the best? Well, unlike every other skin, there's no skeletal structure. Pharah is not in this skin. Like, yes, she technically is, but, like, they had to model the fucking skin to be see-through and have all this stuff colored on the inside. It has the ghostly glow. Like, there's no head. Like, there's just no head here. That's so cool. The helmet has nothing to go on. It's just an enchanted armor. Like, this is an appropriately badass Halloween skin. I'm not gonna lie. And I mean, come on. Like, there's no fucking, like, they had to remove her skeleton and make everything that is usually covered by her under armor see-through. For fuck's sake, there's no hand in the glove. Like, it's her best skin because they put effort into it. That's the whole point. They just put effort into it. Plus, it's my favorite color scheme for the armor sets, which is white and gold. It just works. And that's why it's her best skin. They just put effort into it. Alrighty, with that out of the way, that's every Pharah skin ranked. As always, my name is Chris. Like, comment, subscribe, do what you do, and I'll see you guys next time.